Hey, how you doing? This is John, and welcome to John's Logbox. Today we're looking at Batman Year 1. This is Batman issue 404, 75 cents. This is February 1987. This was Frank Miller writing the origin of Batman. This is like the definitive retelling after the Crisis on Infinite Earths. And in a way, this is a Jim Gordon story, and in a way, this is like the almost like the storyboard for the Dark Knight movies, you know. Well, and let's get in the comics. Look at the star cover. It works for a dark story. Look at that. That's young Bruce Wayne with his two parents laying murdered. And this is Mazzucchelli. I always used to say it wrong, but I'm still not sure how you say it. Mazzucchelli. Rarely has like him and Steranko have like the smallest outputs of comics and the biggest shadows. They're just giants, and I think both of them only did like 33 issues or something around there. And here's Legends crossovers, Cosmic Boy, Warlord. I loved Warlord, Legends. And here we go. It's like a movie poster. Batman Year 1 by Frank Miller. Now, Frank Miller was a full-on rock star at this point. The Dark Knight Returns already came out, and he's just, firing on all cylinders. And I was a little disappointed that Frank Miller wasn't doing the art because I didn't know who David Mazzucchelli was, but it stopped. I loved it. We'll become the greatest crime fighter the world has ever known. It won't be easy. Adapted from so it's Bob Kane, Bill Finger, and Jerry Robinson, and I'm glad that they all got the credits because Bob Kane notoriously stole all the credits from everybody. And from what I hear, and I've heard it from too many people who said they met the man, that he was kind of a jerk. Chapter 1. Who am I? How I came to be. And Richmond Lewis colorist, Todd Klein letterer, Denny O'Neil editor, and Batman created by Bob Kane. Whatever. How many times can I talk about Denny O'Neil? But he considered themselves the custodian of Batman for like 20 years. But I talked about him a lot. So let's just look at this. I love this artwork. It's minimalistic, but I don't know. I guess minimalistic is not the right word. I don't know what word to, but it's like moody. It's not dark. It's like I keep wanting to say minimalistic, but it's not really minimalistic. And at first casual glance, it kind of looks like that Secret Avengers that I just couldn't stand. But there's more details. The story. Look at the storytelling. Look at the angles. It's just more masterful, more good drafting than that comic. And and this is old school coloring with ink and brushes, and they do classic comic book coloring. Everybody in the crowd kind of has a singular color. It's all like kind of yellow, and the important stuff is colored to draw your eye. There's Jim Gordon, and I think that's supposed to be Bruce Wayne. And he's arriving in Gotham City, and I'm sorry. This got Bruce Wayne arriving by airplane. Yeah, so that's Jim Gordon arriving to Gotham City. This is his first, and it's just, I grew up, around the five boroughs, so this is exactly like Jamaica Station. This is like, I'm sure Frank Miller either gave him photo reference or David grew up in this area, because that's perfect. That's perfect. And look at this crowd, people bothered him, and then this is his contact that he's going to meet, Lieutenant Flass, and look at this hulking giant. He's like, "Come on in, you're going to be my new partner." Transferring in, and then here's contrast that with Bruce Wayne, purple pants. I guess purple pants was a thing, right? I know I keep joking about that only in comic books do you see purple pants. But here comes Bruce Wayne come walking in, and he's a celebrity returning. He's been away from Gotham City for 12 years. Okay, we know that he's been away training. But of course they think he's just been like living on his parents' money and just being like a himbo. Is that the word? A himbo. But so everybody's like, yeah, Gotham's most eligible bachelor is now back. And here, Gillian B. Loeb, Commissioner of Police. Remember, this James Gordon. He's not a police commissioner yet. And look, there's something you don't see anymore. It's pack of cigarette smokes. And he's meeting with the commissioner. And just, I don't know, I love... Did Frank Miller tell him to make this room look like this? Creepy clown posters, you know what I mean? Just Lucy and Charlie Brown, Snoopy, just a lot of great details. Just look at that. It is stately Wayne Manor, and I trust you, Bedwell. So this is Alfred. He's got his hand on his shoulder. Father, it's good to be back. So he's coming back after 12 years of broad training. And look at this. I did a showcase on the George Perez Wonder Woman. Just so good. Just so good. I love it. And here, things are not off to a rip-roaring start. So here he is drinking in his car, comes over and just starts beating up punks, and look at him. He's disgusted. And this guy's a hulking giant. He's just smashing people apart. And was that necessary? He had this beauty in his pocket. It's a comb. I'm only human, Jimmy. So he just beat, enough said on that. And then look at this black and white Stark, making a starting. He's beginning his to fulfill his vow that he made, that he if you could probably hear Thor, my cat. That's him. He discovered the basement, and he's nervous when he comes down here. Been living here for over a year, and he just started coming down the basement now, but he meows because he's nervous. So just enjoy him. All right, so here's the police going up business. He's kind of drinking and driving, being a jerk. Meanwhile, Bruce is focused. He's getting the work done. I love this. I love all the details. I just love this. And as you can see, you could probably see the similarity between the Kevin, what is it, Kevin Nolan, and look at the car. He's disguising himself. So, hey Thor. Here's Thor. Hey Thor. How you doing? So he's saying hello. All right. So he's putting on a fake scar, and he's going out. And here comes Jim Gordon now. The other cops realizes that Jim Gordon is too by the book. He's not going to play ball. So they got to teach him a lesson. So here we have violence from both main characters of the story. Jim Gordon's getting attacked by cops. They're all like in masks stuff. They got baseball bats. And I like the humanity of this. This he's not a superhero. This isn't Batman. This is a guy getting assaulted by hulking giants in baseball. So he goes down. They just look at that. They just dogpile him. Look at the bruises and everything like that. And then we got Bruce Wayne. He's looking for crime. He's out. In the I don't know where you call it, but the bad neighborhood. And this is Holly, underage prostitute, and this albino is Skunk, and he's forcing her to go to work. And Bruce is like, hey, how much, and then that's Selena Kyle. That's Catwoman. She's a working girl over there. And he says something, whatever, and he pulls out a knife, and he just easily dispatches this guy, kicks him, takes him out. But Holly stabs him. What's going on? And then is Selena, pre-Catwoman, jumps down to take him out, and she lands on him, and they're fighting, and he just he belts her. The police show up, they fire at him, put him in handcuffs, and this is his first night out. This is his first night on patrol, and what does he do? He breaks out of the cuffs, assaults a cop, and gets out, and he's just like, I can't believe how bad I messed up. Look at him. And there's Jim Gordon, all beat up. So they both had bad nights. I just love how the stories are told in parallel. And Jim Gordon is going to go exact revenge because it's never. So here he's the Flash coming out of the bar. He pulls out a gun, and he throws he pulls out a gun and then realizes it's no good. So he throws him a bat, and 1-on-1, Jim Gordon beats the crap out of him, strips him naked, throws the gun into the snow, and he's like, he's never going to report this. He's too humiliated. And there's Bruce Wayne. He manages to drive home, crashes his car, and he's just like, he's all beat up. He was stabbed. He was beaten. He was in a car accident. What a first night. And now, of course, the obligatory, there's the scene in Crime Alley, random mugger. And I love the concept. It's a random mugger that Bruce Wayne never found, because the war of crime is symbolic. I think in one of the pre-crisis, they actually caught Joe Chill and brought him to justice or whatever, but I find that's a mistake. I think Chuck Dixon erased that, because it's supposed to be you never find him. He's a random mugger. You never find him. The fight's never over. So he's realized nobody took him seriously. He's just a guy down the street. So he's like, I have to make them fear me. And then of course the bat comes in. I will become a bat. Ta-da. And here you go. There's the letters page, Bat Signals. This was excellent. This was only 4 issues. You could get this in a trade paperback. I'm pretty sure that these individual floppy comics are pretty expensive, so I would recommend getting this in a trade paperback. It is so good. To me, this is the definitive Batman origin story. You want a Batman story? Start here. This is it. This is the best. This is ground zero. This is step 1. You know, everything else comes from this. The only problem is this was so successful that they did they wanted to do a sequel year 2, and Mike W. Barr did it, and it was just, it was like, I don't know, it was a fine Batman story, but it was not as a follow up to this. This was grim, realistic. You know, I don't even want to say grim. But it wasn't like, you know, it wasn't like hopeless like The Dark Knight Returns, but it was realistic. It was like, you know, so just imagine following up the Nolan films with Batman 66. It was like that jarring. You know, Matt Barr did just like Silver Age Batman. If this, I didn't, and that actually got turned into the Mask of the Phantasm movie, which I thought was an excellent animated movie. So there you go. So you know, they polished it up and worked it out. But there you go. I'm starting to ramble now, so I'll stop. But I hope you enjoyed Thor. That's my cat. I'm so glad that he's coming down here now, because, you know, I'd like to sit here and read and have the cat sit on my lap. What do you want? But there you go. This is Batman Year 1. Excellent. Get the trade paperback. This is just a classic. This is I want to say a modern day classic, but geez, it's 30 years old already. And there you go. Thanks a lot. See ya. Bye-bye.